mwanama. Hey mwanama. Hey mwanama.
Ateito nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa mobimba mama na bani na fwara fikine.
Mwanama. Hey mwanama. Hey mwanama.
Ateito nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa mobimba mama na bani na fwara fikine.
Mwanama. Hey mwanama. Hey mwanama.
Ateito nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa mobimba mama na bani na fwara fikine.
Le père Trouvignon. Cadeau! Baïmanoa! Abénoa! En soit tout le peu Abénoa. Moi, na Kai. Fond de Siate de Sébi. Zouzou! Après, on est le qui est là, t'es au bio, au préfet. Après, il y a quelqu'un là-bas, là, t'es au bio. Oh, ça y est, là, t'es au bio, celui-là. Alors, si c'est avec un ça tout le fait. Oh, j'ai la main, là, t'es au bio, ça tout le fait. Ben, non, là, t'es au bio, ça tout le fait. Côté, t'es là, t'es au bio, ça tout le fait. Après, il y a ma doka, mi, qui est là, t'es au bio, ça tout le fait. Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Pub Radio. I'm here again. We say thank you, and welcome to the conversation with Samson to this evening. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have you here. Please share this video as much as you can. Safety, my Lord Jesus. We want to thank you again for this wonderful, wonderful day that you are giving us. Without you, nothing is possible. Those of you that believe in you, we know that you will continue to guide us. You will continue to guide us prosperity. My Lord, help us. Guide us. We put the Republic of Liberia in your hands. We put the leadership of the Republic of Liberia in your hands. We put Ambassador Bakai, the incoming leadership, in your hands. We put the current president in your hands as well. We pray that they all will be protected. We pray that they all will be blessed. We pray that they all will be given the wisdom to do what is good for our people. I want to thank you again in this public manner, because you, my Lord, you'll never disappoint any of us. Those of us that believe in you will come to you in this public forum and ask for your guidance, and ask for your blessing, and ask for your protection. And you do all of that for us. And we just witnessed that again. It's called the election. We'll put the election process, the Liberian people, and the country of the Republic of Liberia in your hands. You'll never fail. Oh, my Lord, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We believe in you, and we will continue to praise you. We're asking that you continue to bless the Republic of Liberia. My Lord, we ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So, folks, I'm going to do something here before I start my real tabata tonight. I'm going to be doing something. There's certain thing that going on the social media, and I've been reading about it. I've been laughing about it, and that is the issue between former Minister of Finance, Honorable Amara Kone, and current Minister of Finance, Honorable Samuel Twe. And now, you see, these are things that I like, but why would they take someone to piss you up before you start talking? And this is not unique to them. I have right in my hand someone who is well known for that. They will not say anything, even if things are not going right, until somebody write about them and piss them up. Then they will come. We heard Honorable Tua is telling us how much Amara Kone has siphoned from Liberian, whatever. We're going to deal with that more. But that after I bring this up, I'm going to be reading this. I'm not going to read all of it. This was written back in 2005 by Dr. Famler. Dr. H.B. Famler Jr. wrote this about Samuel Twe. But one thing I keep saying to you guys, if you want to read a paper written by Dr. Famler, you're going to have dictionary on one hand while you're reading. But I'll do my best. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll just read something, and I'll be reading it from time to time. My next show, which will be a day or so from now, President I've been saying a lot in his church. Some are very truthful and somehow tend to be like a truth teller now. And those are things that the liberal used to say here for many, many times, and they were not listening to me. So President Weah's been saying now he's surprised that Liberians will give the country back to those who hurt Liberians. He's surprised that the same people they took the power from, they're giving the power back to the same people. He cannot understand that. And I will try my best on Thursday to make sure that he gets the point. This is not something about, I keep saying that, this election that happened, and I'll be truthful, this election that happened, it has nothing to do with Ambassador Bakai and his leadership ability. It has nothing to do with President Weah and his leadership ability. President Weah is the most populous person. But many of the vote that went for Ambassador Bakai, it's not, for soon to be President Bakai, but against President Weah. The vote President Ambassador Bakai got, it's not because they love him and they believe he can deliver, but they were angry with President Weah. And so they voted against, not for. They voted against President Weah, and they're not voting for Ambassador Bakai to be the president. Far from it. Anybody don't believe that, you want to say something else, say your own type. But this is what I'm going to tell you. This election that just happened, it has nothing to do with President Bakai winning election. It was too close. But President Weah got defeated because of the angry vote against him. It was just overwhelming. And I will go through, in fact, I will do my best to try to, and one of the things I like about CDC government, from the time they came to power 2018, social media was already alive. So most of their inept behavior, most of their thievery, most of the things that they were doing that were not right, they are in public. People have those things, speculating. And one of the bad things that was happening with President Weah and his people, they decided to do this. Shut up. And they don't want to explain anything to nobody. And Samuel 12, I just feel bad for them, because I knew these things. I've been saying this thing. Samuel 12 quite recently admitted to us and said, while we were sitting down here ignoring, the people were going in behind us and saying something that we never responded to. Who stopped you? If Samson told you to be here and telling you, come and respond. You don't respond, people will improvise. And I just sit out there, Bagu, Buga dancer, you're dancing. Buga. You see the people, they were not listening from the time you came to power, especially after Modu Laker Talk, that audio really brought Liberian people to your doorstep. And now only were you not paying attention, President Weah, you didn't pay attention to these people. You decided you were going to do these political project, I call them. And you think people were going to gravitate towards you because you told us that, you said, before people like me, they voted for me, overwhelmingly elected me when I didn't do anything, but because of my soccer career. Correct. But when you came in, they thought the thing you were doing on the field to put Liberia on the map because you care for them. They know that. But when you got in power, the people you have around, they were not on the same page with you, President Weah. They were not on the same page with you. They were there for themselves, but you never stopped them. I was involved in a project where the people, I'm not going to call names, where the people that were managing our project, they took over $10,000 kickback. I said so. You can't sue me. Over $10,000 they took for kickback. They took that. And they expect the work to happen. The work most likely is already done. But I'm not going to go further than that. But there's so many people that were doing things that President Weah most likely was not aware of it. But we come out here, we run our mouth. The people are stealing President Weah. The people taking money. Fire Samuel 12. that your friend, you don't have to fire him completely. I said, President Weah, you can ask your friend. I know, President Weah, you don't like to hurt people's feelings. Take this man, put him in the background. Let him run the finance ministry from the behind. And the new person that's going to be there, yes. But you said no. He was the only person. The only reason why Miguel and people left, because of the sanction. You refuse to reshuffle. You refuse to. Why you can't blindfold us little bit self again? Why you can't blindfold us little bit self? But you refuse to do that. And now you're telling us that the Liberian people perhaps have made a mistake. No, they didn't. They elected you, believe in you, swear to God that you will be the deliverer. They swear to God. They are sweat. Liberian, look at the CD, what they get out of this thing here. What many of these seditions that can be running around, south, what they get out of this thing? Where? Where do they get? Only few, if you count the sedition that truly benefited in this whole CDC program, they're not even 200. They're not even 200 out of almost millions of sedition. What do they get out of it? Their love for CDC and their love for you. Let me watch and see. When I open the line, some of them will start calling and start condemning me because they think I'm tough. That's how love they got for you. They will die for you. These children, these young people will die for you. And die for, you brought the mana people that they start doing like that to you. Bagu, you're doing good. Bagu, you're doing good. And the people who supposed to carry you on their shoulder, you left them behind. You left them behind. Now you're wondering why these same people would take the country and give it to the people who harmed them, according to you. You can't understand that. Yes, President Weah. It's difficult for some of us to understand as well. But I know better. I knew President Ambassador Baka won the election, not because they believe he can deliver and rescue. Please, rescue where? Rescue, watch and see. Watch it. Y'all know me, man. I ain't got no cover to my mouth. Y'all got no cover to my mouth. Watch and see. They're going to rescue? Y'all watch and see. The only thing that going for Ambassador Baka is the idea of inclusiveness. Now, this inclusive business that he's doing, including everybody, people get on board and think mess up, they're not going to blame him alone. You say, hey, he brought you in, and he brought you in, and he brought you in. You from where you come from? You from Total. Where you come from? You from Montpellier. Where you come from? You from Sony Wayne. Well, how can you help? So he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. The challenges in that country. The challenges in that country. You can bring Jesus Christ in Jesus Christ. You can bring Jesus Christ right there. You will play all your miracle. I'm not going to say that he's not going to be successful because he's the man that I believe in. But things are still going to be challenging. Also, sit now to say Ambassador Baka going to deliver fully. I'm not in that camp. But I will deal with that on Thursday. You keep saying, President, when you go to church, you make this statement, and I will explain to you. You came in during your senatorial campaign, you declare your asset fully. Presidential election after the election, I don't know what you were thinking. That you're finished getting it, nothing else. No. When the election finished, that's when you start running the campaign for the next time. When I used to say, yeah, people say, you just run your mouth, you don't know nothing. Yeah, I don't know nothing. Me, I don't know nothing. Immediately, that speech, President, we had the speech you gave at the SKD Stadium. No other like Abe. You have to talk about speech here. You have to talk about speech here. Those of you that can read. Can you see this? Can you see this? You see William Tower? You see William Tower there? You see it? You see it? There on your message, a William Tower speech. The speech you gave, President Weah, no, as far as I'm concerned, and I've done my research, no other president in the entire history of this country, from Jiggy Rabba to Samson, nobody has given that kind of speech. No one. No one. You touched the heart of all Liberians, even those of us that were opposing you. Our heart. That speech. That speech. People believe, yes, Liberia will be delivered. Liberia will be delivered. This young man, the people say there ain't no book, but he will deliver this country. People believe that. What happened? 2 days later, Sunday, you gather at the sports stadium, you started singing. Who don't like we are, you better go sleep. Oh, they say we are time. If you don't like we are, you better go sleep. You start singing your battle song, Sao. Some of your children say, putting a finger to their mouth. The people who are never with you, they start putting a finger to their mouth. I got some video here from some of the old sedition. Some of the things, I got some video here. I've never played those things. And then you're wondering why the people going back to those people that, who else they have to go to? Then you say, it would have been better if they are going to some new people that have not. No. These people got leadership experience. Let's try then again, they said. Let's try then again. Let's try then. You think they vote Liberian, many Liberians gave to Ambassador Baka. You think because they love Ambassador Baka or because something towards you running his mouth? Please. Those were angry vote. Serious. Look how many votes you got. How many votes they get to the Southeast? How many votes they get to Ambassador Baka? How many? When you came in, you won 14 out of 15. You swept the whole thing. That time, you yourself told, he said, when I won the election, nobody, and I have not done anything for the country. What have you done? Truly. When they go deliver, the hospital want them to get paid before they deliver baby. Other than that, the baby will die. Have you done, President Weah? What have you done? What exactly did you do for which the people turn you down? Tell me. Kalasco, then you got them going around. Baku basically here for? You embarrass all of us from the Southeast. I say so. Right now, I'm upset. I'm upset because they said the Southeastern. Every time they're ready, when they were running our campaign, it used to hurt us. Some of us that was supporting Ambassador Baka. The whole thing that Southeastern business now, they start counting people from Southeast, from the Southeastern side that are in your government. Look at the road from Tapeta all the way to the sea. What road? Some of us, our support for Ambassador Baka was there. But at the same time, you know us, we're feeding people. And I always explain, my going against you has nothing to do with the fact that President, we don't know. No, it has to do with policy difference. It has nothing to do with hate. People love you. Even now, show me one person in Liberia, even though you're being defeated right now. But let them come up with one person in Liberia who is more popular than you. Nobody. They can't come up with anybody. You are the most popular and will continue to remain the most popular. So even the sanction that people crying about, if they can't say, you will still be popular. But what did you do with that popularity? Those people around you, hey, I used to tell you, I used to say, but they refused to listen. They took you. And so I predicted that. I said their election, 2017 election. I said, President, we are winning. This is what I was saying. Y'all go back to my video. Y'all will see it. I said, when they book people, they'll come up. Hey, the man know nothing, man. And I got somebody here, I will read it. Hey, man know nothing. Hey, man know. Don't be book people. Don't progressive book people. The hypocrisy in Liberia, they don't know where to stop. The progressive intellectual, they've been fighting to bring Liberia to the next level. They were never successful. Madam Sally came in, they thought she was going to do it. What did she do? She brought all her children, all her cousins, all her relatives, and they soak us. They soak us. All the intellectual, progressive, they zip it. They not say. One of people like Councillor Gonglo then was saying small thing here and there, but majority of the president, nothing. So when time came for president, we had it. Oh, including myself. Hey, the man know nothing. He can't do anything for us. Something to all over here. But people said, no, this is the person we want. The book people, instead of them to recognize and say, no, this man is popular. If President we had not even picked up Julia Howard, the man was going to win. There was nothing, as long as Madam Sally was not in the race, the man was going to win. Instead of them to recognize and say, let's put ourselves around this young man. He's going to win the president. And we're trying to fix Liberia. Let's use this opportunity. Since he's popular, he's going to win. Let's go around him and through him put our policy that we think will benefit Liberians and put our policy. No. Everybody, hey, let him go. Samuel Twaden. Maya Sheldon. They cut to Papa. We will guide you, my son. Where do you want the man to go? He wanted to be by himself. He said, okay. He left. He went, Papa, Samuel Twaden, call him. He went there. He was there. As soon as the election finished, they put that ring around him. Look, they lock it up. Can't see him again. Jabata, that way you used to be, he never, they would say, oh, they don't like you. They hate you. President, we are. You can't go over there. You can't go there now. You can't, everything. You can't. This is what we have. This is what we have, my people. This is Liberia. This is Liberia. Folks, those of you that are listening, if you are listening and you're part of the LPR family, join me. But the thing is, President, I will deal with that on Thursday. President, we are saying, he's asking a question. Why did these people give the country back to people who harmed them? So even if that statement is true, why would they not do that? President, we are immediately after the election. No declaration. I said declaration become an issue. Become a serious problem. We don't have anything. When you declare, it became, who called you in? When you declare, it became private. You can't disclose that. Few months later, margins start going up. I'm under the impression, because I grew up in Monrovia. I worked with the Ministry of Education in Monrovia, making $100 those days. But as soon as the Lebanese people found out that I was making money, they came to me for LPA. They used to give me a bed and all that kind of stuff. I take LPA. They call it LPA. I don't know what they call it now. But that's what, and I used to pay every month. So who knows? Being the president, you don't have money, the people coming to get you. So it's not about stealing. But if you were to declare your asset and you said this money is coming from you, I'm doing this, you're allowed to do that. But everything was, you're shut up. Everybody shut up. Now you're wondering why the people are turning the country back to the people that hurt them. I'll deal with it on Thursday. Mr. So, good evening. Thank you for joining the Liberal here this evening.
I guess you get a lot of ibuprofen on IV to take, right?
That's okay. That's okay. My bottle of water here.
You don't start. You not start
to bring the stomach down anyway.
You start with the same speech again that get us to be where we are. You're starting with the speech business again.
What speech business?
Yeah, because you so enticed with people giving speech, and then you draw it. It's just gonna be it, right? That's how you went like a wild beast. Hold on. You were doing all your.
But you're not running the show. You're not going to hold on me. I'm running the show. This is my show. I'm in charge, Mr. So I don't want to pack you in a garage. I don't want to pack you in a garage.
The same charge, the people were in charge, and the train derailed. That's the same charge you want to bring here. Look, this is an obituary we are on now. I really don't have time to waste on this thing here. This is
you don't have. I do.
Yeah.
What hurting me? I'm entitled to this.
It's not hurting you. Because hold on. This is the hypocrisy in you. It's not hurting you, and you're here. You get your friend Fanatic Kofa. All of them were hanging with George. You didn't talk to them to advise him. They all took this train down the pit, and you want to come back.
We're not going to play individual here.
No, but these are the people also were surrounding. Now you're supporting Kofa to be the speaker. Kofa
whatever.
I would say Kofa literally is
anyway. It's not about Flanty tonight.
No,
Kofa will be a nice speaker. You got no choice. Liberia, get used to it. Flanty Kofa, the Speaker of the House, get used to it. But let me tell you.
That's the same dance. Hold on. That's the same dance, and I want to put a picture up right now if you defy me. That's the same dance you are dancing at the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex with that speech with Dr. William.
1950 something. Let's forget it. I want you putting nothing up. Let's forget it. I was dancing. No, let me go back to it before we go on to something else, Mr. So. When I was at the stadium, when I tell you, unless you don't have emotion, but when President Weah made that inaugural speech, some of us, as connected as we are to Liberia, as connected we are to Liberian history, as connected we are to the grassroots level during the power situation with Baka Mafia, it got to me to see a young man from the slum to give a speech to identify issues that Liberia has been facing from 19 There was a young man that got killed on Central Street supermarket. They used the Lebanese people, they call him Bari. They used umbrella because they said he stole candy. They used umbrella to take the candy from his throat. They killed him. Nothing came out of it. I was in Monrovia. I was working on Benson Street as a store boy. So I know these things. So when he came out and made that statement to say, I understand what is happening in this country, and I know what the issue is in this country. Liberian will never be
that's why you drew your conclusion
anymore.
That's why you drew your conclusion, right? Because he says he understand and he knew what was coming. So your head, foot on your shoulder, everything gonna be okay, right?
Yeah.
Well,
but it didn't turn out that. So
I feel bad for you because
that's okay.
I feel bad for you.
That's life.
And you're starting again with this
whole no. This time around, Ambassador Baka is coming with past experiences. Ambassador Baka is going to take us to the next level. It's not the same. So yes, I pinned my hopes and aspiration on President Weah at the time. He let me down, so be it.
I'm not one of those who always pin their aspirations on these politicians. Politicians are just politicians. You never know what they're going to do. But I think what is important right now, what we should be focusing on, it is a tax ahead, and for us to start talking the challenges and what George Weah and the CDC, they began the process of kicking that can down the road long time ago. It started way back. It almost literally like the PRC. That's what happens to the CDC. And even up to like today, I tell you, and CDC will survive by the grace of God, only by the grace. If they do not change course, if they still can't get the language, the tone, the message that was sent by the Liberian people, and even their own president, now he's making a true confessions. There is a place that he really used to from time to time where when he goes, because there is no end outcome of whatever he says for people
So
to ask.
how come the executive marshal is not in your background today? Why you don't have the executive marshal in your background? You come here, Marshal, Mr. So. Why don't you have the executive marshal behind your background? You got that building that look at some kind of building from Kuwait. You think we in Kuwait?
Okay. When you change your Firestone breaks tool behind you, they will put the executive marshal there. Look, but look, there's still an internal fight going on within the CDC.
It will be, and we agree.
I was told today, surprisingly, and that's a real type insider of the CDC. And I have no doubt, considering what is happening and the attitude, because the slowdown now will be ought to be sanctioned. Do you still know that these people are defied, and some people still threatening that they want to expel the president? The president did not tell them. The president did not get the consent of the insider when he considered, and he going around now. They do not even want him. Have you since the whole thing has he gone on CDC compound? He has not, because there are some folks, there are some people still within his action, his decision, the concession. They see that as a betrayal to the CDC for whatever reason, and they think they are just running their own show. That's what happens. I'm saying this to say that's what happens when you're a leader who is unable to make some strong decision and just think that he's leading people. There were a few people CDC left behind, and for me, it was in a surprise that we're going to get to this point. The Vatoba, our own body, the Zakamans, all of those people. Those people were the people who really post CDC. That's what happens to institutions when you let go. People that gave you that branding, people that build that structure, and you think you just want to go without them, then that's what happens to you. That's
yes.
what I suspect, they put themselves on the line, and even let's look at the first term. If there was no some sort of a sense of recollection to take a second thought, I mean, come on, after 1-2 years, the only person who made an attempt, and the person didn't the house who rescue CDC was Muna Youngblood panel. When she was talking to the sedition, say, let's go back under the sycamore tree, she was speaking in a specific tone, calling for reconciliation. This lady knew people were hurt, people were left down the road, and people were forgetting who worked hard to get CDC to where to be. He didn't pay attention.
But let me say this here. I'm not here to defend CDC because, as far as I'm concerned, CDC is very good at putting their foot in.
I think we should be focusing what ahead of us and some of the challenges. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. You just come sit down here and come be to give people bad dreams.
So this is my show. I focus on them because these are my brothers and sisters. Now, let me be serious a little bit. What I suspect will happen, President Weah is one of the founding members of CDC, number one. Second, sedition will not be able to move anywhere without President Weah.
You know that.
So what I think most likely going to happen, President Weah will revamp this whole CDC business and kick out all of those so-called intellectuals that have nothing to contribute except to bring the CDC down by stealing. Those people will be identified by the incoming government. And when they are identified, those people will no longer be part of CDC. And so when President Weah ready, the people that are going to be around him will be sedition. One thing I know about CDC, once a sedition is a sedition. Even if President Baka bring those people on board, they are always sedition. They will go back to CDC very easily. And some of them, our own relatives, they're known for that. So I'm not much worried about those people who threaten to say they want to kick President Weah out. They got nothing to stand on. my thing and my focus here, when President Weah is going to his comfort zone and start saying why Liberians are giving, or why Liberians have given the country back to the people that harmed them, then with that kinds of understanding and that kinds of conversation, then President Weah is not there yet. He must recognize and he must do some soul searching. Why was he defeated? As popular as he is. As popular as he is. The man who came to power, winning 14 out of 15 counties without erecting any single building in the interest or anything in the interest of Liberia. When he was senator, he didn't do anything. Yet, supported him. He has to think, what happened? What did I go wrong? And he must have that conversation. Honest conversation.
Are you saying he doesn't know?
He believe to be his trusted friend.
Samson told. Samson told.
Yeah.
Are you saying he doesn't know what went wrong? He as a president, he doesn't know that? Is that what you want to tell us?
Well, Mr. George, good evening. And you got to be very careful right now because the LIBERIA is on here. And I am not about ready to be bamboozled into any kind of conservative idea this afternoon. But good evening, Mr. George. Thank you for joining us. No, Mr. Soul, I even invite the other man.
Well, now, is that Tiawan going to pass the gun over to him or what?
The broom is just
after the broom, that the remnant of the broom?
The broom still sweeping. I want to get to Ain't no way you sweep somebody that can go behind the door, you gotta close the door, you push it behind.
So before I say welcome, before I go to Mr. George and say Mr. Soul, the question he asked, yes, he is aware of it. But I'm saying, in order for
what did he do to help himself?
What do you mean? What did he do?
If he is aware, then what did he do to help himself?
No. This is what I'm saying now. Now he's aware, but he
now he's aware.
As far as I'm concerned, he has not accepted his flaw. In order for you to move anything past where you are before, you first of all accept. If you made a mistake, accept it. Then you say, okay, how do I correct this mistake so that they won't happen the next time? Look, that's going to be the next level, President, we are going to be getting on. And
well, I think that would be unfair, and that's your analysis. You always on the you're on the liberalism is somehow I find it very difficult to believe who you really are, what you represent, because you always taking multiple stands when it comes to
Mr. So can you black the idiot that on here? I don't have the means to black him. Kennedy Jr., can you black him? I don't want to see him on show tonight, please.
Why you don't want to see what is
some of the foolishness he's writing over there? Please black him. He's not serious.
What? These are the people, you know. I don't see what he's saying here, but
Mr. So, can you black
him? But you can still watch the show.
Oh, listen. This is what we do. Hold on, Pape. You see, you're old people. You're quick to get. Hold on. Come to yourself,
Mr. So. I just don't have the means of black him.
Anytime that guy in this, when he in a 10 speed and brown shoe or food, it's always a problem. Lee, I'm going to take care of Kennedy. What we're going to do? We're going to
show.
Listen.
Black this man. I'm asking to black him. I don't have the means. I'm asking to black him, please. Can you get him off the show?
If you don't have the means, then you have to be nice to me. Don't come.
Okay, I'm being nice to you. Black him, please.
Then take your hand from your pocket. Thank you. I don't know that going. You get in your pocket.
My hand out of my pocket. Black this man. Let's move on. Say good evening, George.
So yeah, what we're going to do? You know what? It's not a matter to disrespect you, but these are some of the people. What we can do, we can limit his activity here, where he will not comment. We're going to put him in a room where he will get daylight. We'll give him water. We will not starve him, but then he will burn with aim, because this platform is not like this ordinary platform here. If you have an argument, we always open the phone lines where he can call. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put him in the waiting room where I'm not sure whether there will be a receptionist to call him in, but he just going to see what's going to be going on, but he will not do anything. Okay, how that the labor? You know you're labor. I should be talking about black, not you. So where you come from with black today?
Thank you. Mr. Josh, thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
How you doing?
Fine. Say good evening. We were it gave us some point, but we were not able to go through all of those. We were able to exalt your stuff on your plate.
Okay,
So
he just want to watch now, no commenting, nothing. You know, Facebook now he has modified his stuff within it. So calm down, Papi.
okay. So
And
let's go. Let me go back, Mr. Judge, before I come to you. Let me go back to Sister. Sister, do you still remember?
Yeah.
Do you still think we need to go into them, or
Yeah, I mean we can talk about them briefly, but the two issues were the first one about the act that was passed on the 14th and signed by the president. That is the Foreign Extortion Prevention Act.
right?
And that was to fight corruption. They termed it as trying to fight the demand side of corruption. But the second piece was that the president right now is recognizing that there's been a lot of people that have been doing a lot of crazy things behind his back. He hasn't been checking.
Okay, let's start.
So that's the one with that to start with. And that one is the president. Hold on, Mama. The president preached in his church that somebody at the Liberian embassy,
Yes,
voted against that ceasefire. Liberia, by the way, was the only African country that voted against the ceasefire in Gaza. But the president said that his decision was that Liberia was going to vote for the ceasefire, and that they had delivered letters to the Israeli government representative in Ghana, and the president, that was in at going to Benjamin Netanyahu, expressing the president's belief in humanitarian ceasefire. But for the president to come out and say that somebody in at the embassy changed the vote, but besides that, the president now is in a corrective move. He went back and made sure they withdrew their vote and corrected their vote. And now you're seeing the president instituting an investigation into mining contracts and mining deals. I think George Weah is finally woken up. He's realized that people that he trusted blanketly was not the right thing to do. And he's realizing that his name is being dragged in the mud. And I think however short time he got left in office, he's trying to clean up to the best of his ability so that he can clean his name a little bit more from the mud he put on him. That's the reason I'm bringing the broom that left over. We give it to him so he can continue to sweep some of those dead and I hate the people there.
okay.
okay.
Just getting some information here, but I just
Jesus, thank you for taking me this kind of no more baby business on my side. My last one is 14-year-old. I'm glad, Jesus, you're so wonderful to me. When they're going out,
I bribe her to know. I even bribe her everything for her to not go downstairs and buy my dollars and us.
yeah. But okay, all right, Mr. Josh, let's take it with you.
Yeah, well, seriously. Why are you laughing at the president? You laughing at this man. You had 90 minutes.
Hold on right there. Hold on right. Folks, this is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I got my 3 distinguished colleagues here now. And now I'm going to try to go sit down. And it's not a form of disrespect. I will sit down so I'll be able to manipulate the.
That's why your knee hurting now. You try to tell me you'll go sit down. You don't design anything yet. The man asked me, yesterday, I'll go send Koto and Robert. I'm not saying nothing. See, you want to be I'm not saying nothing to you. Go ahead,
Mr. George, please.
Sister, yes, the thing here. You just laughing at this the man on his way out. What can he said in less than 38 days or whatever? But here's the thing, you might take on that issue. President Weah, he has lost complete control of his government. These major votes, it doesn't happen without the president cutting a shot. These are not ordinary votes. So the president should be ashamed of himself to say that a vote took place in Washington, in New York, that he was not aware of it. Come on. You're making a diplomat on the enclave of Monrovia laughing at you, laughing at Liberia.
So, Pa Josh,
yes,
I had to interrupt. This is what happens when somebody, if you are not in charge of something you yourself supposed to be in charge of. That's as simple as it is.
That's what I'm saying.
People managing their affairs.
That tells us that this president was not running the country. And let me say this. The vote that brought Israel, Liberia was the one that cast the last vote, if I'm not mistaken. Liberia had always voted for Israel. These critical votes do always go on the side of the United States. What the president doing yesterday, I was told his connection in Dubai, Qatar, they are questioning him. But it cannot help because the letter he wrote would not help because that vote was passed. So even if you read a letter to say we change our vote, it doesn't hold, except if the body go back, they say, well, we got to reconsider this vote, then it will hold. But that vote was counted. It was counted. It passed.
Mr. Josh, Liberia's vote did not matter because the United States vetoed it anyway.
Veto, yeah.
So,
yeah, but the idea, it put them on the record.
They're putting it back on the drawing board anyway.
On the record that they voted against. So all the Arab friends that George Weah had, they question him now, hey, bro, what happened, man? How you play off like this? And you come here every day to sit down with us. The boy from Dubai asking him, the boy from Qatar, my man, what happened? Is that how you treat us?
I want to break
We gotta retire some of them.
You know how this thing work in the arena. You my friend. And you take that vote against my interest. Our interest, we got to ask you.
But he know why. There's a reason he took Louis Brown from the nation, right?
Yes.
So,
the question
he explained that in his church. Why he fired Louis Brown?
The question here is, President Weah has lost grip of the government. He's not in charge from what I see, because these are crucial votes where your country will call you and call the ambassador or the permanent representative and say, hey, this is how I want you to cast your vote. This is how we want you to cast your vote. This is not ordinary vote. So to come up to say the vote that was cast, it did not meet my approval. Hey, man, President Weah, who have asked this man? But, I think the best move.
How do you want to advocate a little bit?
So
I think we're not being fair to the president in the analysis. You have a foreign minister who is the chief conveyor, implementer of our foreign policy.
Yeah.
The president will tell the foreign minister how to vote. That is a fact. After the cabinet meeting. Hold on now. But when the permanent representative goes to vote, the president's not going to grab the permanent representative and say, this is how you vote. There are instances, even in developed worlds, where you'll find some diplomats that have gone rogue. They've gone against the express interest of the president, and in that case, they get recalled.
That's what I come to.
It's not like it doesn't happen. So I don't want it to look like because a representative of the U.S. permanent, representative to the UN voted in a way against the president's ambition, or somehow now, he didn't have complete control because he couldn't control that to the end of the ballot. But the only thing for me that I see that you should do is probably to recall the Liberia's permanent representative to the UN, because that is huge. That person decided to go against the president's mandate on how to vote on a crucial issue like that.
But in a church situation, he said, God will not bless us. So that
come on, man. Look, please don't talk about me. Don't go there with God. That's why when he got the message that his country did not vote in his interest immediately, 24 hours, he or she should have been recalled. So with that, you save face with your friends. You can say, see, Ari, this is what this ambassador went against our will, and I immediately recall her. You can save your face with that. But it had not happened to go and say you written another letter. Hey, man. It doesn't work like that.
So, okay, let's go on. Mr. So, you want to contribute to that conversation?
Yeah, but before that, we're just getting fresh news here. This is a special release from the inaugural committee. As you know, Jonathan Pelele, former BBC correspondent, is the immediate publicity chair on the inaugural. This release is a fresh release. Hopefully, there will be. It's already out here, but the committee is saying the inaugural is on course. You know, there are a lot of conversation being out there whether President-elect Bouaka will return and all of that. This committee release now is giving more details with respect to what's going to be happening in some of the activities. Let me just peruse through some of the highlights according to what the report is saying. The release issue here today, copy of which has been served. Jonathan Pelele is the chair of the inaugural committee, subcommittee on media and communication. Says several events will precede the inaugural program, including prayer service on Friday, January 19, 2024 at the Benson Street Mosque, and the youth concert on Saturday, January 24, 2024. The release went on to say there will be an intercessory service is scheduled on Sunday, January 21st at the Everett Baptist Church in the residential district of Painesville near the capital of Monrovia. Now, we are getting much more detail with respect to the itineraries and some of the things that are going to be happening. We are also, the release is also quoting here, there will be a major press conference on the 21st. Of December. So this giving us a sense on course is a clear indication that the president-elect, it didn't say it here, but from what we are gathering from this release here is a clear indication that the president-elect will be in Liberia, hopefully, because when this information, when you see that some sort of details coming up with respect to the activities of the inaugural, it's a clear indication that people have been working behind the scene. And we could see more of this coming forward. Samson.
And what I also know, you don't want to go to the stadium either. They want it done at the Capitol, though, so that Liberian will be there. And I'm the stadium bringing all over the place. That's what the ambassador going to do. He's a true Liberian man. He said he wanted at the Capitol, where it's supposed to be anyway. And in no stadium, when we play football. So that one, forget it. But yeah, you read that part.
But Samson too, what kind of man you are? What you mean is a true Liberian? Because he decided to have it at the capital. They say that makes you a true Liberian than other Liberians. What do you mean by that?
A true Liberian?
Yeah, but what do you mean by true Liberian? What's about us?
Who was a wrong Liberian?
What's about me? What about Cecil? What about Mr. So?
Before I go answering that question, I'm most likely going to ask you for a long-form birth certificate anyway. So please don't push the liberal in that line. I say he's a true Liberian. Then he said, "What's about me? What's it?"
Who is not a true Liberian? I want to know who is not a true Liberian.
Everybody true Liberian. You got certificate, birth certificate. You true Liberian.
I don't have a birth certificate. I don't have a birth certificate.
So what is it?
You don't have a birth certificate, Mr. John. You don't have a birth certificate.
No.
Where you coming from now?
What's the point of that question?
Mr. So, hold on.
No, I'm talking to Samson too. That's Samson. I said, what's the point? True Liberian.
He doesn't have birth certificate.
Yeah.
But let's jump on. Let's forget about that. I'm not an immigration officer. They're trying to hire some real immigration officer. So let's put that one aside. But let's go back. Let's go back to Sissy. Let me before I go to Sissy, let me just warn two of you again. You're not coming here tonight to bamboozle me in going your way. It's not happening. So let's jump on that because I saw Mr. So want to take it serious now. Let's put it one side. Let's jump on Mr. Sister Goya comment about this bill that passed. So, Sister, let me ask you this. What do you make of that bill? How do you think that bill, that was, if it's truly passed and it becomes law, how does it affect Liberia and Liberians in general?
Well, it was already signed. It was passed on the 14th and was signed.
What do you mean if it truly signed passed?
It was signed by the president already, so it's already law.
Okay.
I think it's geared at strengthening the American anti-corruption laws. But this is almost forward-facing, and according to what the president put out, was this was meant to address, according to them, the quote, demand side of bribery. So it's addressing American companies and multinationals that will engage in bribery in Liberia, giving bribes, and also affect American nationals, and affect Liberians and people in power, people in leadership that solicit bribes from American companies or on American soil, on American territorial soil. So what that means is, even if you're coming here as Joe Blow and you're somewhere in Staten Island and you're discussing bribe, that the American government can come after you because it's been done on American soil. And if I have a company that is a U.S. company and I'm doing business in Liberia, or that is registered in the United States and I'm doing business in Liberia, then I cannot be facilitating bribe, because then Uncle Sam could grab me here too, or can grab me. So this is just more teeth, I think, being added.
But let me ask you this then. So what happened? Samson told get to Liberia and decide to engage in the corrupt practices and taking money and taking kickback and stuff like that, not from American company. What are they going to do to me?
Well, I think the law, I mean, there are so many things. The law, they could determine how grave it is, whether they seek Interpol arrest of you or wait for you to get by here. Because they know you're not so then you'll come out.
No, but what I'm saying is, if I'm a citizen of Liberia, I got a long form of birth certificate. Yeah. But if I stay there and still Liberian put money, they're not American people.
Well, that's why they still have. Remember now, the Magnitsky Act is still in state, so you can still sanction you for traveling here. So it's not like this is replacing any other law. It is in addition to all of the other laws they got.
No, but my main concern that I have, why they bring you all that? Why they can't wait for people like me to go and eat small elephant meat instead before they bring the tea up?
If you watch American politics lately, the issue of authorizing money to go to Israel for Israeli defense and to go to Ukraine for Ukrainian defense, it has now taken on a political trend where the Republicans that used to be for supporting America, supporting wars all around the place, now they are
no conservative. They're just a joke anyway.
No, but people are checking now for waste, because they realize the American dollar is being sent overseas to many countries where it's then stolen, and people are living in luxury when you have American citizens here that could be using that money. And so I think it's because of that a lot of these laws are coming into play. But for me, though, I think the bigger point here is that I keep saying that the American government is using every means possible, without speaking bluntly to the Joseph Boakai government, that we will not allow government as usual in Liberia. Because they started sanctioning people, putting people on travel restriction, expecting that Joseph Boakai will investigate and not allow his citizens to sit for another 6 years under a cloud and don't have the chance to out of face a court in Liberia. But beyond that, this other law now also adds a different level to it. So people that have been thinking that now Liberia is the elephant meat, like I keep saying, they have to be very careful. Because now the elephant meat.
One last question before I go to Mr. Judge. One last question. So this law that passed, does that include money coming from African Development Bank, money coming from World Bank, or just U.S. company and U.S. money?
They said people that are in leadership. So it could be you're a deputy minister, you're a minister. It doesn't matter where the money comes from. By your role, you can get affected by that. And if you're not deputy minister or minister of the money capital for American banks or American companies, it affects you. So it is. They try to make it a 360 approach where they want to grab everything and not leave loopholes. Because again, remember the Magnitsky Act is still there. That is still a weapon they get. They just added one more weapon to their toolbox in fighting corruption.
All right, Mr. Josh, what do you make of this thing, and how is it going to affect us? Is it going to be a positive for Liberians in terms of fighting corruption, or this is one of those Uncle Sam Tabata? You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. You know, for any crime to happen, there must be participant. 2 persons got to be involved. One person can't commit crime. The 2 persons got to get involved to do some transaction. So this is the thing. The bribery are always coming from one side. People will give bribe, and they will say, "Oh, the person received bribe," but sometimes the man who gave it, they don't touch it. So what the law is saying now, say, "Hey, you that gave the bribe, and you that accepted, you just as guilty as that person too." Because what people, most of the big companies will do, will go to Liberia or Africa. They will tell them, the lawyer say, "Oh, you gotta do this." They say, "Okay, but our law do not allow you to do the, but we'll just give you everything, you do it. We don't want to know, we want our people register and give it to us so we can do our business." Indirectly, they are facilitating corruption. Because the lawyer will say, the other money we cannot account for it, we got to give it to the people on our hand, and this and that, and you give it. But you're like, you playing blind, I say, "I just want my document." How you spend it, at the end of the day, we just want our people. So when something happens, they say, "Oh no, we'll hire a lawyer to do our work, and this is why he charges us." So you see that, then they're trying to wash their hand off of it. But this law now say, So if you're dealing with somebody, they say, "Give me $5, that $5 must have a receipt. If they say, "Give me $10, I will give you $5 receipt," you say, "No, my hand is inside." Because the other $5, I will not be able to account for it. So this is what's happening.
Okay.
And people wonder,
Are you there?
People wonder, "Oh, how can these people prosecute people?" Oh, it's very easy. You can be in Liberia, commit crime at that level, minister or director or whatever. If they want you, they will just tell the president. They say, "You ask for $1 million, $2 million, but before you get it, we want that man. You gotta give he or she to us." And I always say, let me give you an example. And you saw Charles Taylor. Ellington to Washington, they told us, "Hey, we want Charles Taylor, but we can't arrest him in Nigeria. He gotta be arrested from Liberia." She said, "Okay." They put him on board, they took him to Liberia, tell him to handcuff him, and point the flag. They took him. So these things will happen. And what's the system? Let me just
That they want governor hang out the man.
Yeah, General was Solicitor General. He would want that was his job.
Solicitor. And then he said, by God's willing, we will be back. I don't know when he's going to come back.
He come in here, he's still praying. God, he's still praying. God still trying to answer the prayer. But let me close on this note. Honorable Walker, I think, I've been meeting few government officials. And I was telling someone, I said, they tie your hand up because the first question they posed to him, "Will you fight corruption? We are willing to work with you. But you got to give her the guarantee, the assurance that you will fight corruption, then we'll support you." That is the dilemma now Honorable Walker is facing.
Okay.
"Hey, we'll support you, but we want to fight corruption. What will your government do? We can back you. But you have to give her the assurance."
Let me go to Mr. So. Mr. So, I got the question that I have for you is simple. And that is, what exactly you think this thing gonna do to benefit us?
Well, not necessarily benefit, but benefit national governments and to protect. Look, the federal government, you were talking about World Bank, all of that. The Treasury, everywhere where there's a US dollar with that serious number, they know where it is. They know where it goes. They keep track of it. So people have the tendency, they know there are certain things they can't do here or in other countries, but what they do, they have their agents out there. Look, we can get this done here. And so they have their agent planted way ahead to get all of these things to work out, and then eventually they get a kickback so that they can be on record, because they know it is against their law. If they do it, they will get in trouble. So these baddies are always crossed outside of the country where you see this. But what they have done now, like Amos George said, they have tightened the screw. If you think you're going to do it out there, you're from here, you can't do it here, but you can do it outside of America, you are equally being held accountable. But the bigger takeaway here is, I feel they are putting the incoming administration to a test, to a challenge, and not just only say I can fight it, but be practical in what you're going to be saying, how you're going to be, how you're going to go against it, how people will be held accountable, and not just say, oh, I'm going to fight it, and then it's being in a selective method. So that is the challenge. So this one here, what they have done, they are tightening the screw. And so it is up to this government, because there are a lot of people got away with this here, and not just only getting away. You never know. They're going to go back even to the record and say, hey, see what is happening. You see people are being put on live bans with their children for the rest of their life. We don't know how it's going to look like, depending on who's going to come to power and say, well, I'm going to get a clemency. We don't know. Yeah, but it's a tough one. And I think it's meant for people to be held accountable, not just only people, but government, from the government. Because you remember, all of these things here, the World Bank, the this and that, U.S. is a bigger donor. This is where their money goes. And taxpayers are also whining on it to find out that these monies, when they go out there, they land into wrong hands, and one group of people end up being the beneficiaries, and the rest of the citizenry going, being victim of it. So they are meant to put a lot of things in place, not necessarily the people that are going to be the victim, those who, as usual, think that they can get rich at the expense of everybody and think they can be the only person to get, and then the country, at the end of the day, suffers, or institutions that should be keep running because of this financial support. It will have to seal those sort of wounds. So I think it's a good thing to do, but we're going to see how it's going to be enforced, and how these governments tell world countries like ours, Liberia, the enforcement aspect too is on the shoulder of this government, because they're going to be keeping track of that.
Let me ask you this, Issy. Let me ask you this. We heard Ambassador Baka making a serious pronouncement some time ago that he lives off of borrowed money, that he lives off a loan. Now, is that something Liberian will be watching for when he sent his declaration, access declaration in public? Someone who was living on borrowed money or loan? Is that something Liberian going to be looking for?
Well, they'll be looking for him to be transparent. It doesn't matter if he took loan. America gonna declare his asset before running, and it shows what $500,000 in loans and stuff. I mean, we all live, a lot of my house is still on a loan, I still got mortgage. So I don't see that as an issue. As long as, for me, what we are going to be checking is to do a lifestyle audit to see if the money, the salaries and benefits afforded the office of the president, whether the salary and benefit can hold up to the lifestyle. And that's what we're going to be checking. If you're making 20,000, but in 1 year time you're building a 50,000 cash down, I'm going to ask you a question. But to go back to, there's something you said, I wanted to clarify, and I wanted to point that out here. I think Mr. So said about it's going to be on the shoulders of those government to ensure that it's enforced. There is a part of the bill that actually says this bill explicitly grants extraterritorial jurisdiction over the. So I mean, America can grab you. It grants extra territorial jurisdiction. And
so what happened with the idea of sovereignty?
What sovereignty?
But here's the thing. It is. You might take it away. Nobody's saying no to your sovereignty.
No.
This thing is mainly to punish foreign officials and American companies and Americans involving themselves in those things. Again, you can decide not to do it. There's a lot of people who Bashar had an arrest warrant from the international tribunal. People say they were not arresting. But there's any countries that will arrest you when you go there. So just because an arrest warrant is out doesn't mean the FBI is going to go parachuting into Liberia and people dropping from helicopter and pick up one person. No. You know, a lot of
there are means sometimes they use. There are means to use something to pressure your government.
You know you want something here, and there'll be a way to get you. Look, here's the other thing they say here. A violation is subject to criminal penalties, a fine, a prison term of up to 15 years, or both. The bill establishes a victim of kleptocracy fund in the Treasury and directs fines and penalties for violations to be deposited into the fund for anti-corruption initiatives.
Right. So, Mr. George, before I go back to Mr. So, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I know this is something that is a little bit difficult, but I'll ask it anyway. Most of these people, Liberians that were asking to join Ambassador Baka to move the country forward, many of them, they're just like me, don't have money. They are not rich. But to live in a society like ours, and you have an opportunity to work in the government, and you have an extended family, how do you, and you know our culture, which is the one who is up there is responsible for the rest of the family members here to help them. How do you square that? How do you go about being trustworthy with this kinds of thing and not be tempted to do anything illegal in terms? How do we work with that?
Let me ask you, how you were living before? How were you living before?
I was not working in the government.
Okay, and you say living. So if they make you Minister of Public Works, that gives you lesson now to make use of people money, because you bring in the whole total town to sit down in Morovia. No, they said live within your means. Live within your means.
I'm glad coming there when because they made you police director with the country finish. The country finish. What?
But Cesar know it. Live within your means. That's what they want to go to about left side audit. Live within your means. If my cousin came and I say, you know what happened? That tuition here, you say this, a $200, I can't give you $200, I can give you $50. Maybe after 3 months, I can pay it all $50 because I got other people to take care. But I can't say, okay, you know what happened? My man, call the secretary, write $200 check from that money. From that miscellaneous check, write $200. Put it there, you for so thing. And then the side key can give her $500. And we just put it, we spend it this way. No, not supposed to be like that. Make your people to understand, my people, their job I got, I've been paid a certain amount. I'm not going to go outside there to please everybody. I'm not going to see people money. I want my name and my family name to be respected. Don't be that somebody does not crying and say, oh, you see, the people ban all my material myself. But when you're signing $37 million,
so let me go to Mr. So. Mr. So, let me bring you in on this here, and we will try to. In fact, my question will automatically indict the foreign partners, the European, World Bank, African Development Bank that are trying to assist. What about America? Excuse me?
What about America?
America as well. Knowing full well that the corruption issue in Liberia is there, everyone can see. But yet, these people continue to take money and pour money into Liberia in terms of assistance, in terms of loan, and they find out that most of this money are not going to the targeted area, but yet still they continue to repeat this process over and over. What responsibility are we to portion towards these partners of the country of Republic of Liberia, you think?
So, let me, 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 Well, I'm not sure. These people, what they are doing, they're not stupid. They try to instill physical discipline within us. And on purpose, yeah, you hear, you're trying to figure out how to do this. Are you listening to me? You're trying hard to figure out how to kind of like collate the system.
Start from people money.
Trying to yeah to trying to strategize. But this is what I can tell you. Remember the ambassador. All of these things is not in isolation deliberate. You saw the ambassador taking a comprehensive tour. No, this guy, this last ambassador, almost literally remind me of William Swint during the Samuel Doe time. William Swint, he was another guy. He was almost like he was in every town and village those days. Now, putting this thing together, something this you've been here for a while. Before these sort of pronouncements are made, a comprehensive physical monitoring policies has already been instituted with friendly government. America has a unique way of strangulating people. If they know you there, if they might not come to you directly, but they know the kind of people that you deal with. So what they're going to do, they're going to go to your back route and disable that route there and say, hey, say you in Ghana, right? Yeah, you know, U.S. defense package or whatever, blah, 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 is in our hands. But we have come to realize this is what you are doing. So you have the choice. Do what you're doing, or we're going to hold our assistant back. Do you think Sisi, as a president of Ghana, he's going to jeopardize his presidency and get his country into chaos because Samson told trying to figure out some kind of way to do whatever he wants to do? No. This is how they operate. So they were compelled, you will be compelled directly, indirectly, without them being physically or being present in your country. So, see what they are doing, we are a sovereign nation. This is what, when we back in, then we're not a sovereign nation. But when people, when they are giving things to us, then it's no sovereign. But when they begin to put their system into place to regulate and to make sure that the needed are reached and given the assistance, then you become a sovereign nation. Oh, they want to infringe on us, they want to do this, they want to do that. So this thing here, my son, they screw. Ain't know how mechanic want to put a board or what do you call it on the tire rim so that because they know that you're going to be driving on the highway, safety comes first. Every day you talk about safety, right? You always remind we should walk around our cars during this sort of winter time to make sure everything is okay. So they are physical monitor. In fact, what I'm hearing now, I'm waiting to see. Let me just put it out now because eventually it will become. I am hearing the boycott administration. There is something called letter of intent that is being discussed within the inner world, and part of that, they will coordinate with financial institutions in and out domestic. I think sister were talking something about that. So there will be a way that every cent, people that think that they do some kind of thing, oh man, they will lock it up. So don't think that you're going to do it in Liberia and you get away with it. You go in Sierra Leone, you go in Ghana. No, that's not going to work. But what to see how that the details of that information.
Sister, before I open the line, let me ask you this here. And I'm not asking you to give an advice to
so what are you asking
people? Mr. So, I'm running the show. I'm in charge. I don't want to park you in a bike. Not in the bike. I don't want to park you in a garage. But I have the ability to park you in the garage. And if I park you in the garage, your patron is going to go with you. Whether he have done something wrong or not, once I park you in the garage, your patron is going. I'm not leaving him behind. So let me run my show. I don't want no confusion tonight. I want us to have good time, have conversation. So let me run my show. Shese, let me ask you this. What would be some of the things on a very serious note? What would be some of the advice in terms of Ambassador Baka and his people to put their best foot forward, how to guide against some of the ills that we've been discussing here tonight? What are some of the things you think they need to watch out for, and some of the things that they need to put in place so that these things, we're all human beings. So some people will not even be tempted. What are some of the things that they need to do, say, before I open the line?
But so it's a good thing. First thing before I get to that, Mr. So said about the president of Ghana. I say, oh, thank God, he's a liberal. Because I posted my car picture out there. The people say, I get the president no more now. So me and the car picture. So really president. But that's a whole different thing.
That's another different ballgame. That's a
You saw your car picture, they say you can't be president again.
no, I said no. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That man work hard for his money. Who doesn't want to live a decent life? It just freaking.
I know every talking about one moving on. I said, thank God you me in Ghana. You post on my car picture, so any president is president.
Oh God.
But look, on a serious note, my leadership philosophy is that as a leader, you get what you build. It is this thing about one of the characteristics of liquid. They take the shape of the container they're in. Just like Yaman Bwakai and the top echelon of his leadership have to create that container. They have to declare their assets and make it public. They have to ask and require their employees, their appointees, to declare their assets and make it public. But beyond that, you and I live in this country, even with all of the laws that are here, people still steal.
Of course.
The other part is the Enforcement Act. You're making sure that when people steal and they're corrupt, that the law takes its course. You must have been laughing the other day about how I went to where people gave me credit card with so much money on it. I guess I never read my office. I'm touching it. Why are you scared? Because I know I remember that eating it after that thing said at Jetta when I'm easy thing. But the culture of impunity in Liberia, that people know that we will shame them today, and there will be people that can't defend them and say, oh, you made a man want to steal from the government before, and they will go without any punishment. So I think that the enforcement of the law and modeling good behavior from Ambassador Bwaka and his leadership will go a long way. I not say we end corruption, but it will curtail corruption. And the last thing, though, I will advise all of my colleagues that are thinking about taking jobs in Liberia. Mr. Tole, very good point about you got families that kind of want to live with you and all the other things. If the salary they're offering you, if you know that salary cannot sustain your life in Liberia,
call has been forwarded to an automatic.
if you know that, for example, I cannot go to Liberia, I still got to pay my mortgage here. I got to pay rent over there. I got my family here. I will get everybody from the fuck coming to live in my friends when they send them to school. If I know that salary cannot support that, it is my responsibility to refuse that job offer. But you can't go there, use that as an excuse and say, oh, yeah, people coming to me asking me for support. No, you can't use that to steal from the people. So that would be my only advice to people that are thinking of taking jobs in Liberia. That's one of the reasons I say I'm not taking jobs in Liberia, because I know the whole fuck I know can't lay in my fence. So I'll be right here. We'll be sending money by same wave.
Okay. Thank you. Folks,
but before opening our line, and I think Sissy put it into context, but the bus stop now is with the president-elect Ambassador Joseph Newman Boykai. He is the only driver on this train that will be rescuing, from the whole campaign war. Now, his first step, his first move with this, because this is something that he said he was going to do. He has to take the lead, and he must take the lead. And if he did, trust me, his ministers, his deputies, his directors will follow suit. And anybody who tries to circumvent or try to retweet something that he did is not similar to him. Let the first two feel the wrath of his administrative power, and that is a side to dismiss, because trust me, they're going to put him to test. They're going to test him, and they think they're going to beat the system. This is what George Weah didn't do. He started doing some things, whether he had his own money, okay, but the timing was just incorrect. It makes people to cry. So when he boycott, when he start it strictly out front and you think you want to enforce it with the other people, then we just come back to the same. They will come back to the same point, same thing that we are doing. So he must take the lead in this.
Thank you. Let me take this first call.
To see, yeah.
Thank you. Let me take this first caller. 717 number 717 last 47845. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
This is Jim. They're calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Thank you. What's on your mind, sir?
Just said just now about you can't accept government position. You know, you get one district behind you, and you're not district superintendent or somebody. So the matter of fact here is my son trying to organize an organization for all the go Liberia to work along with a group that we use LRA that can go appraise the houses. Because when you build houses in Liberia, you want to pay tax, they can appraise it. How many house calls is that paying taxes on it? So we're going to work, we're going to link our group with those organizations. Those budget now, like say, build hospital in total. 250,000, we want to appraise those houses. If the house not work for 250,000, we make sure we impede some of the people from power. We don't need to wait for your assessment to end, and they make you responsible to pay for it. We're not going to be looking at putting one total medical center in budget for 6 years and total medical budget in up $1 million, the hospital service or something like 50,000. It's not going to work. We need to start setting our country up from the beginning. So we're trying to organize some group. I just bringing all the idea, but we're trying to do it so we can work along. But we'll be soliciting funds to do this, to establish it. We'll visit all government projects. It's not worth that money, we announce it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. That's a good idea. However way we can help, that's fine. Will Culture, thank you for joining us. Connecticut is on the line. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, thank you, and I'd like to say hi to the panelists.
You like to say hi, or you will say hi?
I'm saying hi to the panelists. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, discussing the Magnitsky Act, this new one, the new law that gets passed, right? And it's a good thing that they passed that law that will hold even the person that encourages bribe and the person that receives the bribe. My only concern is America genuine to prosecute our own citizens for bribing other people, other leaders, other countries? It's a fact that some American companies that have great influence always in time immemorial will be the first to offer bribe to foreign governments to make them, or foreign leaders, to make them do what they want that foreign leader to do, because those countries are poor, they don't have the money, so they go in there and do something. We saw with Firestone, we saw it with the mining companies in Liberia.
Firestone bribe Liberia? Did they bribe Firestone?
I'm not understanding you, Mr.
Who bribed Firestone?
The line is too.
Can you hear Mr. George?
No, just ask because he mentioned Firestone. One of those companies, so I want to know, did Firestone bribe Liberia or what?
Can you relay Mr. George's question to me?
Well, why you not hearing Mr. George?
He talking about country because he named his country that been bribing.
Mr. George, what was your question?
My question, he mentioned Firestone and other companies that bribe government. So I asked him, what time Firestone bribe Liberia?
He wants to know, do you have timeline in terms of Firestone bribing stuff that you're bringing up? Carter, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to you, Mr. To.
Yeah, Mr. George wants to know, to go a little bit deeper and tell us when Firestone bribing happened and who was involved.
Please, yeah, Mr. John want to
know. But you just come the name.
Yeah, what you said, Mr. George want to know?
He wants to know for you to give a little bit of information about Firestone bribing, who were all involved.
Well, to be honest with you, for Liberia to experience what Liberia has experienced for almost 100 years with Firestone, something must have happened down there. Our leaders, something must have happened.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
To not benefit our people. To not benefit our people. For Firestone to use our people for almost 100 years or even 100 years, paying them little nothing, extracting our natural resources, or it will or even manufacturing or plan to produce rubber products in our country is one of the things that is so corrupt in nature to our people. And it's sad that us Liberians are not discussing those things because we only look at what they throw to us and make it sound like gold. I think the real issue here in Africa and Liberia specifically is when these mortar companies come to our country, they should be able to open manufacturing plants in the country where the citizens will have jobs, the people will benefit from the natural resources, regardless of what they are taking from our country. They should be able to produce the finishing product right in Liberia, and then we can ship it to the outside world to sell. I think it's important. If America is serious to help Liberia to stop the corruption, to help unemployment in our country, to help stop the handout that they give to Liberia, is for them to build on the multinational companies that come to Liberia, especially the American companies that go to Liberia to do these kind of businesses, to be able to build factories in our country, to have a lot of people employed, open the private sector so that people can stop going to government to steal. I think it's important. But you cannot
No,
big company and just take the natural resources out. We're all even putting something down for Liberian people to have jobs. I mean,
but let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Usually your tone of voice is kind of a little bit, but you sound something of a irate on something that are you angry about something?
I have been angry a long time ago about this, and if you follow my show, you will know that I'm one of those people that spoke about and been speaking about how companies enter Liberia and just take natural resources away. Whereas we were one of the largest rubber producer.
You are wrong.
Even making rubber slipper in Liberia.
You've been misinformed.
Firestone didn't say anything. So we are winning and confront that Firestone to even produce rubber products. That's where they told the president that our rubber was not upgrade. Today we see getting Liberia trying to produce rubber products. What is that?
Okay.
What are they? Why are they? Just the property.
I think you're missing a whole lot of things.
Or Africa is rich. We got the natural resources, but our natural resources are not being.
Don't do this to us. Don't bring this into us.
We don't even know.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. So, let me correct something. You can relay to Keto because
Keto, can you hear saying something?
I'm listening.
Okay. Keto is asking in the beginning.
Guys, if you're in the background where there is noise, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself so I don't have to mute you.
Keto was asking in the beginning.
Someone got something on your background.
Whether America is sincere enough to persecute its citizens. So I wanted to give a quick two examples. In 2020, Goldman Sachs paid $2.9 billion to settle corruption crimes in Malaysia. 2.9 billion with a B.
You heard that, Kaja?
In 2017, Rolls-Royce, the car company, was charged for 170 million.
Okay, say Hoya, because they're not getting it. Hoya statistic, please. Let me go on. Thank you, Kaja. Let me go on to Dr. Toto. Dr. Toto, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Libra. Good evening to everybody in studio.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So
okay, Just listen to the
Then
discussion.
you're gonna wrap them up. Go ahead.
So just listen to the discussion on commercial. Just last week we had a focus group at the community college where I work on part-time. It was discussing commercial, and one of the questions one of the students asked was why the U.S. continue to pour money into countries that deem to be corrupt. Some of the countries need our measure were Israel and Ukraine. But even though people had disagreement on what they said, but when it comes to the U.S. policy on corruption, that's why the U.S. will put money into countries that deem to be corrupt, but it doesn't mean that they support corruption. That's the reason why they have various strategy to combat corruption. They have the millennium challenges that were established during President George Bush there to kind of create country either to be able to deal with corruption. And based upon their grading, they will provide funding to this country. So some of the countries, they are even corrupt. They will lie, either say that to make their country look good, to be able to look good and be able to get funding for the Millennium Fund. Either they are still corrupt. For example, Sierra Leone, the last election, Sierra Leone have a clean sheet on the Millennium challenges. In terms of good governance, they passed everything. But look at the election that was there. How that election turned to be very fraud, and even it brought out of disagreement in their country, or the U.S. had to come into possession on the government. So these are things that will come out to create a fake number. Even then come out to Liberia. Liberia, what Simon Tua there do the work there, they create fake record. They show it to the world, get the international part and other community that the country look good on paper. But deep down, we know that they are very corrupt. And that's the reason why the former U.S. ambassador, well, they were very hard on there. You keep pushing there when it comes to dealing with corruption. So, if they're there, we may argue why Eddie Georgia Senator, what is it they were happy with the president we are there? And the records are there. The people are seeing how corrupt these guys are and where they came from and what they have up to today as compared to those that working President Joseph Senator. I'm not justifying why President Senator officials did not get access to corruption. But corruption was there. But the level at which the star rank in which it went into we are leadership, it kind of blow a big alarm. Like even in Nigeria, we see she have been accused of corruption. So many that U.S. companies that say in Malaysia, in other countries, where U.S. companies go somewhere, if they are found to be corrupt, the U.S. government will deal with them. So that's the only Liberia. If I ask who team to be deemed corrupt, the U.S. government will deal with fast. The problem is when the guy goes through the sign of the concession agreement, they want to take their team therefore they want to become corrupt with a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company that go Liberia to operate. You kind of screen the guy into the law that this is our court. If you don't give it to us, would that be able to process your people to be accepted by the host or the legislature? So they have engaged their consultation fee, everything down the line to corrupt the system. So that's why they're affecting Liberia. They have corruption like a cancer in our country.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Thank you, Dad. And we make sure please hurry up and come back and join us.
Yeah, I'm having a problem with my email. I will talk to the phone, so after the show, I can't get into my email for the past week. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, maybe the same thing that happened the same way. The same thing happened.
But talk to your patron, liberal.
Okay. All right, let me go to the last caller.
When I email problem time, then you talk to your liberal patron.
Let me go to Jose.
What happened?
That's Jose. Are you there? VALADEZ. Okay, the drop. That's fine. Okay, you're still here. Are you there with us? All right. Okay. Let me drop. Okay. The number 701 Last 4 digits, 4658. Are you with us? North Dakota.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
This is Teddy Lion. I'm with you, brother. Samson too.
And this is another man we have to bring on live here, just like we did with Brinkable yesterday. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You try to grab the rat by the tail, huh? But anyway,
go ahead.
Yeah, but thank you, Mr. Toll. I know you've been one of those that really seek the downfall of President Weah by criticizing him just from his speech, all these things you have,
But was it not you the last time that told me how is it I'm from Total and I'm supporting Ambassador Bakai? Was it not you?
But the same man. I say,
probably. You from Total, You from Total, you from Total.
Yeah, I'm from Grand Gina.
President Weah.
And why am I not supporting President Weah? Yeah, okay. Go ahead, make
that
a
was
point,
kind of one thing. But anyway, I support every Liberian, but Mr. Toll, we should be serious about certain things about Liberia.
Okay.
I could feel the tune, I could feel the voice of my brother Catcher. There are some serious things some Liberians trying to say about our existence as people. We should learn how to listen to one another. Our country not been treated well. And, other countries been colonized by other great nations. They taught the people how to do things. But we've been with it, one America here. And when we talk about the Firestone business, we need to redress the Firestone. We need to revisit the whole Firestone business. And not adding up, getting it for another 25 years. That's worrisome. We need to revisit that. The important things about Liberia, there are a lot of wrong things the people have been doing, carrying on in our country, and the Liberian will kind of support the poor ideas. That's wrong. France, not have one company into Liberia. They can go and take Mexicans, teach them how to work, the Chinese, but at least put one or two of these companies into Liberia. They stay in Liberia, teach them how to operate those companies and help our economy. They don't do these things. And that's wrong for 100 years and not 25 years again. We should listen to one another. But one thing, mistake that Liberians we never came to the idea to have demonstrated against some of the wrongdoing, the manner in which they give President Doe or they killed President Doe. Who is Tango? Who is Sunshine? That before Liberia could get better, people need to face injustice. It could be a nation, it could be an individual or Liberia business. We'll have to face injustice. But they will never support war crimes in Liberia because they fought into Liberia business. That's why
Mr. Todd, let me just ask that man.
People and take power to put a blockade on the whole war crime business. That's what's happening. Dirty politics. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Todd. But in America, we are all right. This country will have a coexist the country politically in the rightful way to expose them to their own American citizens and to the rest of the world or what they are doing to Liberia. That's the only way we will gain our citizens as Liberians. Seriously.
Lion there. Immigration to your doorway. Immigration to your doorway. They're waiting for you.
Mr. Todd, I'm from Fargo, North Dakota. This is not the level in Liberia. We are not joking, Mr. Todd. Before boy and man, we are not joking. I feel like my soul make me want to cry. But this country, we have to show people that they need to respect us too.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Todd, as that man. Mr. Todd, as that man.
Take your question off the air now. So let's go around the room and let's go around the room. I know you guys are taking note. Mr. So, you care to make comment on some of the colors and some of the comment they made?
Look, the reason we are here is to facilitate this sort of hard-call conversation. What we can do is to put into check when they say something is not correct. We can sanction their view. We can argue with them. We are in a polarized and divided nation. That's a result of this, elections, people still in the fantasy land, still daydreaming that if election didn't take place, the election was rigged. It's the same thing going on in this country. There are some people still believe today Joe Biden is not the president of the United States of America. So this conversation that we found ourselves in, we should embrace it for the long years up to 2029 by the grace of God when we're still here. People will still not accept that. People are still saying they don't see President-elect Joseph Boyka as their president. So it is the challenge now that we have, we intercede, we in this middle, for people like you who is so intolerant, you don't, the temperamental is not there to listen to some of the extreme voices. We'll listen to them. I will tell them, say, hey, yes, this is what you say, but this is the right way. So
you
people
come and say something bad about my papi, I block you. Mr. So I don't come down.
You are the folks, you are one of those who is the problem for what we have today. Because we want to listen to things that you know the tradition of this network, we tell people what they need to know. So if they come, they tells you A and it is not right, if you drive them away, you are causing more harm because
when you come, you got to bend down to the papi, Mr. Buckeye, President Buckeye. That's what I want. Bro, on a very serious level, thank you. I don't want to aggregate you a little bit, but let's go to Sissy. Let's go to Sissy.
Yourself, not me.
Okay. Sissy, go ahead.
So one of the things that I like being on LPR, even though there's a lot of other shows that ask me to go on and I don't, is because we've established a continuum here that we will fact check you. You are entitled to your opinions, not to your own self. When people do their own Facebook lives, I don't go on it to write because
no.
But when you come on LPR and you say things that are not truthful, you have the right to say things that are not truthful. I have the right to correct you so that people don't learn lies from you.
Yeah,
exactly.
So to my brother Kete, I was just showing to him how a renowned bank like Goldman Sachs had to pay $2.9 billion in fines for corruption in foreign countries. The same with Rolls-Royce. But beyond that, Keto's discussion of Firestone, and I wanted him to be on the show because it's not fair to him when he's not on the show because
you're listening. He's listening.
Look, my new year resolution is to get these people the link. Let them come on the show. Let them be here instead of texting Tabata. Let them defend their issues so they can also shame when they leave. Because the only way we educate people by force, we get civic education by force. When you are having a concession agreement between a company that comes from America or comes from China, and it's in another country, you're expecting the U.S. government to tell that company how that concession deal should be? Who should be the person or the people saying that we need to defend the right of our people? Isn't that supposed to be your government?
Exactly.
This Firestone concession was revisited was that 2008? CDC had people in the Senate. They protest against it. I hear my brother lying to say that they should have been protesting. That CDC who owned protesting forgot how to protest? You are telling me that Firestone has been corrupt, but you can't tell all the corruption. You are telling us that they're carrying out an agreement that we signed with them. Even though I too don't like that agreement, but I don't call it corrupt. Your government went to Firestone for the people to pay their taxes in advance.
Yes.
You're talking about corruption. You even trying to corrupt the process. You're trying to get prepaid taxes.
I heard you saying about Tango. Who you were referring to?
Prince Johnson that time when
Prince Johnson time.
I know what I'm asking. I know I was at the point when Prince Johnson was doing it. That's it. Look,
there's a food the African Americans are so food. They call it gumbo. And there's a version of jambalaya. You just take everything in your refrigerator, you cook it. So I had him in a haircut with a conversation, he gumbo conversation. Just throw everything together.
Jambalaya.
Yeah, jambalaya. You just can't put everything together, and throw it away. These are concession agreements. If your government is serious about going back and looking back at the concession to you? Why are you asking people to prepay taxes to you? How do you stand a chance to be able to leverage an argument in revisiting a contractual deal when you're begging for handouts? When was the last time your Ministry of Labor went down there and tried to see people violating labor laws? As a matter of fact, there was a strike there. There was a strike out there by the labor workers, and your government stood behind Firestone for them against the labor workers union. You did not advocate for that. Keto, you'll be on the show forever and ever. When was the last time you told your people to make sure they call Firestone for hearing? When was the last time? You can tell me if you call them for hearing and they refuse and they flaunt our authority, then we hold them accountable. But you don't call the people. Your people go there and beg the people. They want to sit there and make it. It is their responsibility to take care of you. No, it is our responsibility to make sure that before we sign any concession agreements, that we ensure that they're in the interest of the public. Just one last thing before I leave. The new agreement, the new amended agreement, which runs through 2041, Firestone has committed to continue replanting efforts to complete a rubber wood factory that would directly add a minimum of 500 jobs and grow its support to small business Liberian farmers. Has the government of Liberia gone to make sure that Firestone will create 500 jobs to hold them accountable? No, they're not doing it. Right? The agreement also permits an increase in income tax rate payable by Firestone from 25% to 30%. So have you accounted for that extra 5% increase in the revenue? They're paying you more than they were paying before. You're still going to put the prepaid taxes to you. I'm begging you, man.
Okay. Mr. Josh?
Yeah, and as this is let me just add, let me take a small history lesson. When Doe took over, the worker of Firestone strike, they said that Firestone had not built a high school for the children. And Firestone pulled out the contractor agreement and said, this is it. Nothing was inserted in this to build school for you, but the junior high school bill, we did it all our own will. The Haka Doe built that high school, I think, in Smith or Happy Hill for Happy High. So these contractor agreement, the amendment are done within the presence of your lawmakers. They ratify these deeds. They don't want to go and put all the contractor thing in line. And the president reads it. So don't come here and say Firestone being corrupt, this company. No. You got no evidence. When you on your show, you can talk that one day because there's nobody there to ask you. But you can't call in and come here and say something who say, oh no, we'll fact check you. You are a man, but we'll fact check you. So tell us where Firestone bribed the people. Where are the briberies that went on? Show it to us, not just by seeing it. Because what you put in that contract is what the people live up to. If they don't live up to, you hold them. Let me say one thing again. You said the U.S. government doesn't prosecute their people. No, Kete. When Katrina happened, Louisiana, there was one black representative, I forgot his name. He had $10,000 in his freezer. In his freezer. The FBI said he could not leave. They didn't. So the FBI were forcing everybody to leave. They went there, they searched up, they found $10,000, and that money came from a Nigerian businessman who was trying to use it to have an internet service in Nigeria. And he was tried and sent to jail. A representative. Then the former governor, Rob
Blagojevich.
It was Donald who pardoned him before. It was Donald who pardoned him. He was tried and sentenced. It was Donald who pardoned him. One line in your government, let me don't go one line, but in the 6-year time, who the judge we are prosecuted for corruption that you want to compare that of the United States to? Come on, man.
Okay.
Don't go there.
All right, thank you.
So let us be just straight on these things. All the companies that goes to Liberia, they put in the paperwork, the document go to the president, because anything after over $10 million, you send to the legislature. When it is ratified, the people live to your Minister of Labor. Let me just say something. The ATM terminal. It says that the sign of the in a contract that a Liberian should be trained, I think, for 2 or 3 years. After that, they also see those expatriates. Those people had not done it, and the people reported the Minister of Labor had not done anything under George Weah. What can you say about that? When there's something on black and white, and you are not enforcing it, but you're accusing the people of being corrupt. So please, and the young man who said something here about colonial master left something with the people. And that's the question he listened. Let me ask you, what did his colonial master left in Ghana? What did they leave in Nigeria for the people to improve themselves? What the French left in Guinea? They didn't take everything out of Guinea? Come on, man. Go and do some history session.
All right. You want to touch that one because for me.
Okay.
So,
Mr. So, you want to add some more stuff on it?
Yeah, you want to go to bed now? You hungry?
Mr. So,
I see you. I'm
running my show.
No, he left behind. He left trimming and hacking on your jumping around.
My something waiting for me. You know why?
Well, that's Saturday, so you not let him go. Look, but on a serious note, that's the uniqueness of this network. In as much people pick their political side, but hey, we can get on each other's throat. We can. We don't hold back. Because the society we find ourselves in, and whatever people can do, whatever they want to do on their network, and that's the challenge. Even this government and other upcoming government going to face. It's going to be dangerous. And these things are dangerous. These lies, these make-up news, people just get and talk something without any concrete evidence. It's going to be a distraction to a lot of happenings around here because they go here, they get this, and just put them together without no any person and just throw it up. But that's not what we're going to do here. We accommodate all voices, but even as a caller, and you see, why you think the guests don't come here? Not that we don't extend invitation because they want us to do it their way. And unfortunately, we can't do it their way. So with our guests, we are guests, and the audience, more or less, they are the most important guests here. So, guys, it was a good conversation. But Lebro, hopefully you will change, and you will change for the better.
You will not change.
All right? Because you support, and this is where the problem, you are some of the people who, when you support people and you carry them to the bank of the river.
You finish your tabata.
Hold on. Yeah, well, hold on. And then
because you gotta get one, I'm giving you 1 minute each so that you're closing right there. So hurry up.
Wow, this is unbelievable. All right.
I'm running the show.
You know me, I'm an Israeli. So, okay, guys, we're going to be here tomorrow, but I'm going to take a different approach. For me now, and for all of us, our ultimate goal to find solution to what is happening in our country, finding the solution. We are not the policy maker, we are not the decision maker, but we can go all out there and have look at this conversation and how it can be addressed. And I always hear everybody, oh, LIBERIA need to be like Ghana, LIBERIA need to be like Ivory Coast. But I sense our guys went in the field, and there are some really interesting video. And that's the challenge. And now there's no more election. I know during the election time, people were walking fine line. They don't want to touch certain demographic of people because if they did, they will be pinned down at the polling center. But that is over now. This is not a new thing. People have seen it. But how will this? I'm interested to see the next city mayor of the city of Monrovia and other cities. So our guys went in the field. There are some interesting videos and see. Let's compare and contrast our neighbors, the city, how it looks like, and how can these things be handled. Join us tomorrow here for All Things Considered.
I will clear relay. I will be on.
Okay, talk to Amos Joy and say if they grant you that permission, then you'll be here.
They got no. I'm the board chair.
Mr. Slow.
Yeah,
For me, Samson told my beer tomorrow, so we can beat on here again.
Okay. But anyway, give me a 2-second closing. 2 seconds. Time start.
No, let me say this. Just say thank you. and to our audience, but let me say this. This network, like it or not, we will not sit down anybody post any false information out there. We check you. We check you. You can be
Who checking
citizen.
you? Who checking you?
You can be ANC. You can be the CDC. You can be the Unity Party. You're not walking here free.
Liberty Party / Unity Party.
Yeah, it is our responsibility to make sure our people get the right information. The time has come that we got to look at white and say white, black is black. Samson, don't cut me off. I see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You got to call Unity Party. You want to cut me off now?
What got him like this few days?
No, because he think I want to talk about Unity Party tonight. I just call him. I say anything. So cut me off. Goodbye.
You know what? You know what I'm going to do now? The next time, come Thursday, only one of you will be on my show. Because when two of y'all come on, and y'all try to bend, Mr. George, you were so responsive. The last time when Mr. So was not here, everything was going real well.
Cesar was here.
Mr. So, everything changed.
Yeah,
so you want to tell me, small boy like me, I didn't want to complain it.
I didn't force with you. I didn't want to fight 2 up because maybe when I go first, you beat me. But since we're playing that, you can't beat me again.
I say, small killing ball like me. I don't want to complain the woman. I want the liberal one say.
Yeah, but just say get P4 in public, get P4. I want to hear somebody together.
Yeah.
You will not get tired. You will not change too.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, it's always exciting to be on LPR, of course. But one thing that as we start talking about prosecution of people for high crimes, corruption, I have been pushing my own group, and I've seen some people have started writing about that to other groups, about starting new things in Liberia. You cannot be a political party and asking to audit past government officials when you yourself are even auditing your own campaign. We are asking the LPP, and the LPP is already in the process of conducting a comprehensive audit of our 2023 campaigns. And we hope every major political party can do that. And
no. Just keep it to yourself. Don't hold for all of comprehensive vision to yourself.
Because an audit allows for your partisans to get together and find out what were some mistakes we made along the way, maybe policy-wise. Where some money fair that is not going to hold that we ain't found. We have
the 70 grand, 70,000.
No, I'm not talking about ANC alone, because there were our politicians, including us, were traveling to the United States and were raising money from Liberians here. And those people deserve the right to know how their money was spent.
I wish you luck.
Oh no, but you know me. So that's the one thing I'm pushing. That even if you got 3 votes, even if your vote was small and rest green, we still need to account to the Liberian people for the stewardship of their money that we use in campaigns.
Yes, you said something right. George Santos, why is he out of Congress today? It's part of the campaign money was being misdirected.
But I know why I gave you money next time if you can tell me where you gave my money this time.
Jesse Jackson Jr., where is he today? Campaign money was taken about $10,000 wide.
That's one thing I'm going to be pushing. And then to end it the Liberian way, one girl got married today. I think she was trying to get married. The other people stopped it, but then she went. They stopped the marriage from happening in the church.
Yeah.
Then they went to the pastor to get married. All I can say is Lapu not joining somebody's relationship again. Lapu enjoy a wedding. Happy wedding to you.
Lapu came out.
Oh, I saw that.
I saw that.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let's try to come on here on Mr. Social tomorrow and show ourselves how genius, some of us political genius we are. We say things and they happen. And let's meet here tomorrow so we can.
You can find Tune A. I will be in tomorrow. It's time for the cattle ear. Whatever title you want to give it is up to you. But tomorrow, trust me.
Hopefully my voice is much better tomorrow for me to join. I got sore throat, so I will try.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. But anyway. Okay, Cesar, thank you, Mr. Joyce, Mr. So. Thank you guys very much. We're gonna leave it as that. Thank you, Mr. Josh. Mr. So, thank you very much.
Bye.
Again, folks.
Why you put
Again, folks, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight and thank the panel lady himself for being part of this program tonight, giving us some wonderful, wonderful information. I think we did a wonderful thing here tonight by discussing everything else. We opened a line, people make their phone calls, and they were able to contribute. Those of you, the horticulture, Teddy, Lion Ted, thank you guys. You guys did a wonderful thing by calling. All of you that called in tonight, thank you very much. We appreciate it, especially the young man that called from, I think it was from the South or somewhere. But he has some brilliant idea he brought up tonight. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. Not just the voting process, but after the voting process is done, what will be your own contribution? And you heard this, but he's not waiting for government to call him, but he's putting people together to be able to assist, to improve the situation in Liberia. And this is what we're looking for. But my man, thank you, young man. Thank you very much for your foresight in it and making sure that Liberia move forward. Thank you. We appreciate it. Folks, come. Well, cut. Let me, my people. Walton Carter. Thank you, Mr. So, for allowing your panelists to get on me, and you did not give me the opportunity to respond. Walton Carter, you have access to to be part of some of the panelists here. Why you can't come in? Come in. Okay. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Come tomorrow, join us. But you know why? Because you're sedition. And you sedition like to put your foot in your mouth. And I will call it on that. That's why you don't want to come. Okay, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Please, let's continue to pray for one another and be safe. On Thursday's show, though, I'm not too sure if I will allow panelists to join me because I really want to go. President, we have been asking some serious questions from the pulpit in his church, and I want to respond to some of those, but I want to respond to them by video response process, by using video to answer his own question. And I cannot do that if I have a panel discussion, because I have to get a panel a chance to express themselves as well. So, but we'll see. Anyhow, I'm also working on, there's another gentleman that contacted us. He has some information. He wants to be part of he wants to have have a conversation with us. And once I get that process all nailed down, I will bring that to your attention as well. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I think I cover everything. I was supposed to be reading Dr. Formula letter paper about Samuel 12, what he taught us Samuel 12 at the time, 2005. It's very damning, let's put it that way. But Dr. Formula, one of paper when you get it, that social dictionary you got to carry with you. That's why I don't like reading, because from total I can't read. Look at the other one. Inception, globalization. What that one got? Imperialistic. What that one got to do with anything? Look at it, that kind of big word in here. Historical materialism. What that got to do with anything? I can't, I don't know. But I will try my best. So those are things that I'm going to look out come Thursday. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. And all of you that have been writing here, watching us, we really, really do appreciate your effort as well. And with that, I will say good night to all of you. Please, let's meet tomorrow on Mr. Soul Show and have fun again. LIBERIA Public Radio, Samson To. Thank you very much. We were not able to tell you to go to www.LIBERIA Public Radio, where the program would have been broadcast live. But because we're still working on it, trying to put a few things together, hopefully it will be done soon. And once that is done, we'll go back on that and start telling you to migrate to that station as well. Samson to Liberia Public Radio, thank you very much. Good night to all.
Pas devant depuis Paris. Ah, soufflement, allez, y'a